Hey guys, how's it going? I'm more fatty. So this is gonna be a first type of thing that I do here. It's gonna be a League vs. League vlog, and I'm actually kicking this off into some controversy here. So it should be exciting. It should be interesting for you guys to follow around because my back is definitely up against the wall after the match that I played yesterday. So if you guys are new to the channel, haven't watched yet, I did recently work my way into the number 2 league, Heroic Spam. I worked extremely hard for a couple weeks, or for more than a couple weeks, but the last couple weeks I've really ramped up how hard I was working. Played a ton of head-to-head, grinded hard. I'm still in the top 100 in head-to-head. I have like 23 million fans. But what playing head-to-head did was it really helped me bring my game to the next level and make me confident enough to know that I could play with them and that I do belong. And so I'm kicking this thing off with me scoring an 8. Now this isn't the first match that I've played with them. I tried out in their feeder. I did pretty well. I was on a pretty good hot streak. They brought me up. This is my 4th match. The first 3 matches I played in Heroic Spam were all 3 scores. I had a 22, a 24, and a 24. So yesterday we played a top 100 league, and I definitely choked. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm not going to beat around the bush. The league we played was ranked in the 50s, and I had a very bad match, which is just unacceptable. The mistakes I made were definitely avoidable. Unforced errors. I threw picks on like first and second down, so we're going to get in here and review them. I'm going to be very critical of myself, like I should, but I think it's going to be interesting here. I'm going to do more and more of these vlogs where I'm going to be tracking my progress, because now it's very important that here on out I scored 3 touchdowns for the next like pretty much 2 weeks. And I can understand why they were upset about the picks that I threw. I would be upset if I was them too. I've worked very hard. I'm grateful that they're giving me a chance to be in their group. This is like one of the best leagues in the world with some of the best players in the world. And no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They definitely have reason to be, not happy with my performance. And we will go over some of the stuff that we talked about. And since this is my first vlog, I should talk a little bit about myself. I'm not going to do that today because I need to review these drives, and then I need to play the drives for today. And I'm going to do commentary on my drives from now on, because what I realized is when I do commentary on my drives in League vs. League, I actually think I perform better. And that's because I'm like thinking out loud. And the thing with League vs. League is if you play a lot of head-to-head on all Madden, it seems like very slow. So I think like I was a little bit sped up on the second drive, and if I was thinking out loud, it probably would have helped me not be so sped up, I guess you could say. But all right, so we'll kick this off here. I'll show you guys here, let's see. Well, you won't see it right away. I'm just going to go to it real quick so I can show you guys, because this is like a big accomplishment for me. I worked really hard to get into Heroic Spam. It's like a very, I guess you could say proud achievement that I have. Because, yeah, I mean, you can see we're ranked number 2. This is my 4th match with them. I played in the feeder for like a month. I'm very grateful that they accepted me into their group. It's a tight-knit group of guys. They're like some of the top players in the world. And I want to do what I can to become a part of their group. And so, I want to make sure I get along with everybody, but also not be afraid to disagree when I don't agree with something. But yeah, I mean, you can see here, ranked number 2. I just want to it's like I went from the biggest high to the biggest low, right? Because I performed well the first 3 matches. I've been performing pretty well, for a while now, but that's because I grinded a lot of head-to-head to kind of up my game. It's definitely more about the short passing game, and the out routes and all those things. But I worked hard. Like I worked really hard to get here, and I'm proud of my accomplishment. And I was still at a high here, and maybe I was a little bit overconfident because I performed so well. They had given me a chance to play with them. It was going well, and then we played the first top 100 match that they've played since I've been with them, which obviously it's only the 4th match, so not a big sample size, but I put up a very bad performance. So I'm grateful that they believe in me and they're still giving me a chance to bounce back here. But the fact of the matter is, my back is definitely up against the wall, and there's like no margin for error now. So it's going to be interesting here. Like the next couple weeks, I'm definitely going to be posting all my drives, and I would anyways, regardless. So I just want to talk about that real quick. But let's go ahead and get into the drives. First drive here, and I do have a play call script. I'm going to talk about it, some changes that I made to it briefly at the end of this video. See there, I'm turning up my brightness. I obviously should have did that before I started recording, but, it is what it is. So first, okay, so, and I'm going to pause the video. I love pausing the video. I love pausing in between plays and being able to break down the video. So you can see here, I'm calling post corners from the left hash. That was my strategy. For a while now, I've been using post corners as one of my test plays. I've practiced it a lot in head-to-head, and I've had good success with it, especially flipped. I like using it and I like rolling out to the right a lot of the time. But the conclusion here is that I'm not going to be using post corners for the coming couple weeks until I prove to them that I belong more, I guess, and maybe they'll give me a little bit more slack. But here you see easy read. I'm rolling out of the pocket. He is, let's see, I'm trying to see here. Can I zoom this in? I can't zoom it in, but all right, we can still read it. It's just a little bit zoomed out. So he's rushing 4, first down from left hash, first play of the first series. I'm testing, for a long pass. He's rushing 4, his linebackers, it's man coverage. And actually they're doubling the outside wide receivers. I roll out to the right, Gronk burns the guy, easy completion. I'm freaking pumped up, it's top 100 match. My first play of the first drive is a huge gainer. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm freaking one of the best. Like that's what I'm thinking in my head. And I was obviously overconfident. I still feel confident that I'm a really good player. But obviously, I let it get to my head and tried to be a little bit too creative and loose, I guess you could say. Definitely loose and not like disciplined enough. I think when I make mistakes, it's a lot of the time I know what I should do, and I'm not disciplined enough to follow through with it. And it spills over because it happens sometimes in other aspects of life too. But I think here I can definitely work on that, and I'm going to, and I'm still confident that I'm going to be successful. But anyways, I think we missed the second play here that I called after post corners. I called empty shell. Was it empty shell across? What did I call here? So that was the third play. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I called spread slot flags. I don't know why it took so long to choose it. Nope, that's the third play of the drive. All right, I'm trying to get the second play of the drive here. Yeah, I called spread slot flags. I was on the right hash. There it is. Yeah, I called spread slot flags from the right hash, second play of the drive. I know that those 2 long passes are open. That's perfect. And I hit Landry, and then, the third drive I get in pretty easy. I call strong play action slide flipped. And hit Walker for, the 3-play TD. I get toss in easily as well. So I'm off to a really good start, against this top 100 league, and I'm feeling pretty confident. And this is where it kind of goes downhill. Actually, the other thing I should note here is I was actually playing these drives on the train on the way home from work. I wanted to get them done before I got home because it was Halloween. I have a wife and kids. We're going trick-or-treating. Lesson learned, I'm definitely not going to be playing any drives from the train for, at least the next couple weeks. All my drives played are going to be at home on Wi-Fi. And also all my drives played I'm going to be commentating on because I think it actually helps me. If I'm talking out loud, I think it helps. So yeah, I mean, this is the last time I'll play a drive without commentary probably for a while. I'm actually going to try to do like one a week where I don't do commentary on it right away and review it after and do commentary on it like this one. So I'm going to try and do that like once a week, but other than that, I'm not going to do that. And this drive started very well too. I tested for spreads off flags again to make sure he wasn't live countering. He wasn't. I guess we can critique this a little bit here. I saw Moss was open. I took too long to get it to him, bottom line. I need to get the ball out like right around here. Get it over the linebacker in front of the safety. I waited a little too long, and I got hit, so I wasn't able to complete it. Trips tight end wide receiver corner. Very reliable play, especially from the midfield or left field. Fox able to burn his guy pretty easily, pick up the first down. So, I'm off to a good start on the second drive as well. And the thing is, it's like, there were unforced errors. I know that I am good enough. I know that I am. I made dumb, silly mistakes that is just not acceptable. Like a top league has probably almost zero tolerance. I bet there's probably most people in this league have not made mistakes like this probably all year. So I'm actually like lucky that they're, giving me a shot. Okay, that's where I'm lucky that they're letting me redeem myself actually, and I'm grateful that they are. Okay, so this is where the first mistake happens. Flipping post corners, and actually, I already had known that he wasn't live. Oh, this is 2nd and 17. Okay, so I can cut myself a little bit of slack here because it's not first down. I was thinking this was first down. So 2nd and 17, I was kind of like, okay, I just got sacked because I called trips, tight end play action, deep attack, and he had that hard countered, and I got sacked. So now I'm in a 2nd and long situation, and I know he doesn't have post corners countered, and I decided to go with that, which isn't bad. 2nd and 17. I could try to run it as well, see if he has runs countered, but I hadn't tested for any runs. I knew post corners was open. It was not a bad decision to go with it on 2nd and 17 for sure. I could have tried a short pass, but there's risk that he would have it countered, and I knew this was open. But this is kind of where it goes downhill. And the other thing I'm going to say here is after I threw this first pick, I should have waited and not played my third drive until like a long period of time after, because I was really, really upset. Like, I was like thoughts going through my head like, man, I just worked so hard to get into this league, and I literally just threw it all away on this one play. Like, I thought I was getting kicked. I thought I'm surprised. Like, I thought even after this one mistake that I was going to get kicked. I made 2 of them, which are both unacceptable. Especially this. I mean, this one's 2nd and 17, so it's definitely not as bad as the next one. The next one's really bad. This one, the play calling situation, not as bad, but the read and what I decided to do with the ball is worse, I think. I actually got a good read. I saw they were blitzing and bringing 7, and I read that quickly. I knew it was a blitz, man coverage up top, and I actually, honestly, I kind of like, I don't know why I was panicking. I don't know why I got anxious, and I kind of like panicked a little bit and just threw it up to Gronk, which is not like, I don't understand why. I don't understand why. I just don't know why. I don't know what I was thinking when I did this. And I definitely won't play drives from the train again for a long, long time. But anyways, I get a good read. I know that they're blitzing 7. I know I got to either get rid of it or scramble. The mistake I made here was I should have just scrambled away from the blitz. In my opinion, the best plays to scramble on are man coverage plays, especially blitzes. All I had to do here, as soon as I read this, at this point I already had this play read. I was like, it's a blitz, it's man coverage. They only have 4 people in coverage. At this point, I should have hit scramble, rolled to the left, and scrambled. I probably could have picked up at least 15 yards, maybe even more if my receivers got blocks. So what I should have done here was an easy read. I should have scrambled to the left and picked up a bunch of yardage, because on a blitz and man coverage, that's like the best time to scramble. And Carson Wentz, he's at 98 speed, very fast. Instead, I hung in the pocket and threw it up to Gronk. And I actually had a lot more time than I thought I did here. I kind of like panicked a little bit, for sure, and threw it up to him when all I had to do was scramble. Even here, I had time to scramble. And I think part of that is playing so much head-to-head that I'm forcing myself to react faster than I really have to, because all-pro, there's a huge difference in the amount of time that you have to react. I think on All Pro, you at least have 1 to 2 seconds longer to react than when you play All Madden, and sometimes even longer than that if your line blocks well. So, yeah, I mean, this was easy. Scramble to the left. Like, they're blitzing. They're bringing 7. I can run away from the blitz. My left tackle pancake that guy. Would have been an easy, at least 10 yards scramble. But instead I panic, throw it up, and that's like a really, really bad throw. Really bad throw. And then at this point, I'm very upset. I'm actually thinking to myself, like, wow, did I just really just throw away all that hard work with this play? Because I know the margin for error in a league like this, in a top league, is like nil. Like I said, there's probably most guys in this league probably haven't made an error like this all year. So I know that that's like not acceptable at all. And yeah, I mean, it only gets worse from here. Now I go into this drive. I didn't give myself enough time. From now on, when I make a turnover, if it happens again, which I hope that it doesn't happen anytime soon, but if it does, I am not going to play the next drive for a while. I'm going to give myself a good amount of time, come back with a clear head, and make sure that I don't let it snowball. So now, like this drive, yeah, I start testing for runs, which is fine. And really, the play calling on 2nd and 17, I don't think calling post corners on 2nd and 17 is a big issue because I want to stay ahead of the chains. It's just my read was awful. On 2nd down, I should have like scrambling is a serious option on 2nd down, especially on that type of play. I think that's where I went wrong, was just made the completely wrong decision and kind of panicked a little bit. This pick's even worse because I shouldn't have even called this play anyways. But, you know, I'm kind of frustrated. You can tell, like, I'm more loose now because the mistake already happened. The bad mistake already happened. So now it's like, oh, now I'm looser. And now I'm just, like, too loose. But, yeah, I mean, I pick up some yardage, call a bunch of plays that I like to call. And this is where, okay. First of all, on 1st down here, I know that he's not live countering. I know what plays are open. There's no need for me to call post corners 1st down here. I should have called a short pass. I either should have called a short pass or I should have tested for another run play, which I'm definitely going to make a concentrated effort to test for more runs after I test for 2 long passes on the first drive. Next, I'm testing for runs, and I'm making sure that I find whether or not the runs that I like to use the most are open: bunch halfback dive, trip tight end halfback counter, weak eye double counter, flipped. I'm going to make sure that I test for those much sooner. And I should have called a run here on 1st down or a short pass. Preferably, I think I should have called a run and just tested for more runs. I know trips tight end halfback counter is open. Now I want to find out if bunch halfback dive flipped is open. No reason here to call this play. I should not have called this play. And I actually think part of it was like, so after the first pick I threw, I was so frustrated in my mind. I was like, I'm never using post corners again. Like, I'm never going to use it again because, like, that should not have happened. But then there's, like, another side of me that's like, no, you can't give up on that play. You've been practicing it for a while. You've been practicing it and running it well, even in head-to-head. And you need to prove to yourself that you can still continue to run it well. So it's like a conflict that I was having in my head, and I shouldn't call it, like, on my play call script, this is not in the script to call this play here. I know it's open. I know it's not countered. I should not be calling a long pass on 1st down any longer. I should either be testing for runs, testing for play action, or throwing a short pass. So this was definitely the worst of the two. And then, you know, the read was awful too. So I got the actual coverage that I wanted. Like, this is the ideal coverage for this play when you scramble out to the right. And you flip post corners and scramble to the right. This is like ideal. You get this zone coverage here, right? You get this zone coverage, and then you get the right outside line, or that's the left outside. Is that the left? Yeah, that's the left, right? Actually, no, that's the right outside linebacker. So you get the right outside linebacker up there in coverage. He's like, you see how he's up, kind of like in between Gronk and Bryant, and he's all the way to the right, closest to me. So what you can do here is if you press up a little bit to the line of scrimmage, that linebacker is going to bite down and it's going to leave wide receiver 1 Bryant just wide open. He does have a man running with him. Some of the time there's no one there. He's just wide open. And then other times there will be a man running with him, but he has like cover. He has leverage. He's still, I mean, Bryant's open here. And this is a read. This is a read that I've made probably hundreds of times by now. And I can probably count on, 2 fingers how many times I've thrown it to the wrong person. It's just so easy. Like, I know that this linebacker up here, who actually ends up picking it off because I throw it to the wrong person, I know that he's going to bite down when I press up to the line of scrimmage. And I know right here, I can get this ball to Bryant easily. Put a little bit of air on it. Ideally, I would have came closer to the line of scrimmage and he would have bit down more and I could just bullet it to Bryant. But here, I would have to put a little bit of touch on it, get it over his head, and I can easily get that to Bryant. Instead, I try to force it into Gronk. I actually did a very poor job reading that linebacker. I don't even think I saw him, to tell you the truth. I was just, at this point, not happy. And that happened. So I threw 2 picks, both using post corners. Conclusion is, I'm not using post corners for a while. I'm going to replace that with halfback option and motion cross and use those more often, as well as flipped halfback angle. And make more of a concentrated effort to test for runs on early first downs. And yeah, so I mean, this is like me making huge bad mistakes that are completely unacceptable if you're in one of the best leagues in the world. I love this. Like, I love the process of being very competitive and trying to, be like the best. So that process I do enjoy, and I'm definitely up to the task, and I'm definitely gonna step it up like huge here. And like I said, back to the wall. I'm gonna make sure that after I do this, I'm gonna go and score 24. Then I'm gonna repeat that over and over and over again. And I'm gonna quickly review here. I'm gonna quickly review my. Let's see here. I'm gonna quickly review my play calling script. And I'm flipping my phone. Let's see. Put this up here. So I'm going to quickly review my play calling script. And I think you just saw my daughter in the background. The camera is on because this is a vlog. So, hi, hello to my wife, hello to my daughter. They were just in the background. I'm very grateful for my family. I have a wife and 2 kids. I haven't really talked about myself in my first vlog, but I'm going to. I appreciate whoever is here watching. So the first thing here is, my score is 22-22. 22, just touch the screen, 22, 24, 24, 8. Okay? Those are my 4 scores. Now, I've plugged in a bunch of 24s here to give me an understanding of how mistake-free I have to be for the next couple of weeks to get my score where it needs to be. The other thing about this league is that pretty much everyone in the league is averaging over 22 points per game. The bar is very high. I know that I'm good enough. I know that I am. No, but really, I know that I'm good enough, and I just have to reach that bar, which I know I'm going to. It just it comes down to being disciplined. It comes down to being disciplined and doing what I know I should do, which is throwing short passes and running the ball more. I err always on the side of aggression, so I love throwing long passes, which isn't ideal in league versus league when your back's up against the wall, so I'm definitely going to change that. But you can see here, I basically need like 5 matches in a row at least where I get 24 or 3 scores. Ideally, I get 5 24s in a row, and I'll take them one at a time, and then that will bring my average back to around 22. So ideally, I get 5 24s, but I think it'd be good enough if I just got 3 scores, 5 matches in a row, and then build on that. I do want to go on like a 2-week streak where I get like 3 scores every time. And I know that I can do it. And I want to start it off tonight. I want to start that streak. Because I do belong in this league. I very much believe in myself that I can do this. And I love challenges. Like, I'm up to the challenge 100% of the time. So that's that. That's kind of my scores. I'm going to look at the script real quick and let you and kind of give you guys an idea of how I'm changing that. I actually did edit the script. I did edit my play calling script, but I don't have it here. I saved it at work, and I forgot to send it to myself. So the next video I make will have it updated. But I know like in my head what I've changed. Post corners goes bye-bye for now. So that's definitely not the first play from the left hash mid. The first play from left hash mid that I'm going to be calling is halfback option now. And, some advice that I got some great advice from some of these guys. They're really good players. Like the commissioner, he's 100% right. Can't make those picks on early downs. Can't throw those picks. It's just carelessness. Another guy, he was saying don't use post corners for a while. I 100% agree with that. I was thinking that as well. Another league mate, he was telling me, obviously be open to feedback, which I completely am. I know that I'm not the best. I know that there's always room for improvement. I know that. But I try to pride myself being humble and open-minded, and I know I'm not always right. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna definitely step my game up. But I think what I was saying there was one league member recommended to me that I flip spread slot flags. Now I do use spread slot flags flipped, depending on the field position. I like to use it more like that on later downs. I really like to use spread slot flags from the right hash. There's not a lot of good plays to use from the right hash and throwing left, because I do like to throw to the side of the field with more space. Spread slot flags is still one of my favorite plays. It's actually my number one favorite play from the right hash. So I'm not going to change that just because I already have good plays that I can use from the left hash, testing out specifically halfback option and motion cross. Spread slot flags, yeah, I could use that from the left hash and test for that, but I would rather use it from the right hash because there's not as many good plays to test for from the right hash, and I think spread slot flags is probably at this point for me the best one. I love that route combo. Either way, whether or not you flip it, I've used it flipped a bunch of times too. I think it's good to use flipped on later downs, and also if you're from the left hash and you have other plays in mind that you want to use from the right hash, that's fine as well. It's a good play either way. The route combo is great with that out route and flag route. And so I'm still gonna stay with it, not using it flipped, because I don't want to change what's been working for me. And spread slot flags has been working really well for me unflipped from the right hash. That's not what the problem is. The problem was post corners, and that's going out of here. So yeah, I mean, I think that's everything. What you guys are gonna see here over the next 2 weeks or so is me uploading drives every day. I'm gonna be commentating on them most of the time. If I don't commentate on them, that's probably only going to be like once a week where I don't commentate on them. And if I don't commentate on them, I plan on doing a video like this where I review them and commentate on them. Kind of like, I guess a vlog. So maybe, yeah, I'll try and do like one vlog a week, maybe more depending on, the feedback I get. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video, guys. And I'm going to go ahead now and play my drives and record those. And upload those as well. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and have a good day.